Hey there, it's Cheryl. I am into the gel press today. Let me get the package out. So this is the one that I have, the 8x10. I really enjoy using this. I haven't got it out for a while because I actually had quite a bit of paper. I am thinking of doing a class where I'm doing a card making class. So I'm going to make some paper, and I also have a lot of paper here. I want to tell you a little bit of something that I used to not really understand how to make paper. Sorry for my arm showing up there. And I used to buy card, sort of like scrapbook paper. So as an artist, I'm going to suggest you veer away from doing this, and it's because this kind of paper actually has trademarks. I'll show you the bottom. So if you look at the bottom of this paper, it will actually show you which manufacturer and who designed it, and there's a little copyright there. I don't know if you ever noticed that. I cut that because I needed to cut these pieces down to get them onto my gel press. So there are copyrights on this. So keep in mind, somebody has designed this. So if you use this in your art, as in the art that you sell, it's going to be a problem if you don't change it obscure it by at least, I'm going to guess at least 80%, because somebody else created this and then it was manufactured by a company. So I'm going to suggest that you're more better off to if you want to get ideas from scrap paper, that's great, because most things you can do yourself and it's a lot more fun and it looks a lot more organic. So I had a bunch of the scrap paper left over from when I used to buy scrap paper. Now, if you're just doing it for card making, that's fine. If you're going to sell the cards, once again, I suggest that you either alter it in some way, which I'm going to try today, because I had a bunch lying around and I don't want to use basically somebody else's design. So here, I've got this interesting gold piece. Oh, I'm going to cut a little bit off because I want it to fit on the press. There. So I don't know. I'm going to see. Oh, actually, I think I'm missing my. One thing you definitely need is a brayer, and I think I left it. Now, if I had had time, I think I would have cleaned my brayer because it's getting pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest about that. Maybe even a new one. Maybe time for a new one. Okay, so I've got this piece and I'm thinking, because it's already pink, I'm gonna do something that's kind of pink. And maybe I've got this fluorescent happening here. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not loving the shape of this brayer, and I hope it doesn't, because I've been using it for mixed media, and I hope it doesn't do anything funky to this press. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna do this. I don't know what it's going to do this. I have no idea. I've never actually tried this before. Putting it onto card, like scrapbook paper. But I'm going to go for it. You're going to have to do one side at a time. Now, I'm not suggesting that you put this onto canvas because it's just so thick. But it would be fine. Oh, actually, that's really cool. So that's really interesting what happened to that. I like it. and it has changed it quite a bit from what it was. So you could, I mean, you could change it even more if you wanted to. Now I'm going to pick up this print. Let's see. So that's called the Ghost print. I know we've got all these terms for everything and it's so annoying, but this is just a scrap piece of paper because that I've drawn a couple things on. So pick up that print because there is something there. Yeah, I have gloves on because I make such a mess. Okay. Oh, and it turned out really cool, actually. It's really neat. Yeah, so always think, well, can I pick up that little extra piece of ghost print? Is it worth it? So I'm just gonna put, that might have even actually been too much. I think I just want a little bit on the bottom here, so I'm just gonna do this half. I'm trying to make sure my camera's not shaking. Okay. So that's really cool because I just wanted the bottom half. So I've really changed that piece of paper a lot. And I really love it, actually. So the challenge is going to be to find all this drying space. And I just ruined a pair of pants even further. So now, actually, what I've got happening here, I'm going to actually add a bit more pink to the top. This is a fun pink. I know I said I'd stop using so much pink, but since that just turned out so great, we'll see what happened. I really like this thing. This is from the dollar store. Whoops. It's a trivet. So anything that's silicone is going to work. And this is a sort of a stamp where you can take the little letters off if you want to. But I haven't. So we'll see with that. I might have actually put the paint on a bit too thick, and I think part of the problem is that my brayer has a bit of gel medium stuck to it, so I'm going to suggest to you that you use a clean brayer. You can always soak it in water and peel the I'm just going to make some lines. Just looks a bit boring. This is the back of a paintbrush. So put that down. So I'm recycling paper here because obviously this is out of a sketchbook. I think sometimes it's more interesting if there's something that had been written on it. This one's okay. I'm not sure that I love it because I feel like there was a bit too much. I feel like the ghost print is going to be more interesting. I'm going to try this blue piece of paper. I have no idea what's going to happen with that. That's why I find this fun. I've had this blue paper and I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Because I actually think it's for the printer. Let's see what happens here. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. Turned out really interesting. Now, I might leave a little bit of that pink on there. And then I'm going to go to, actually I'm going to use a piece of this blue paper beside me to get the excess pink off of there. So I feel like I had used too much paint. This is a bit thick. The paint that works a bit better is this, something slightly more liquidy. Fluidy is the word I meant. Fluid. There. Yeah, that's slightly better. I feel like paints that are just have a little bit more fluid in them are going to work out better. And I'm going to put this stencil on top. See what happens to this. Interesting. I make a massive mess when I do this, clearly. Actually, I want a piece of plain paper for that. It's not going to pick up well, I mean, I could have tried blue paper, I guess, but I'm going to use a piece of plain paper. That turned out interesting. Kind of marbled. And then I'm going to have a ghost print, which I might use on this blue. There will be a ghost print here. Don't forget to pick that up. There you go. Picked it right up. So what else do I have over here? Got a lot of interesting pieces. Just thinking, what can I do with those? I'm gonna go into the blue. This is kind of liquidy. We'll see what happens with that as I drop it on the floor. So I'm going to get rid of the extra. I don't really want this green, so I'm just going to rub that off. That might have been too liquidy. Let's see. Let's see if I maybe put some. Let's see what stencils I've got here. I'll have to put that like a better. That's working a bit better. That was a bit too liquidy. That blue I had too much of something in that container. Might have added water or something to it. And then I'm gonna put, I have a little round thing here. I use just sometimes some found items. Oh, here it is. It's just part of a tape roll, and I like it. Doesn't have to be complicated. Oh, what was I gonna do? I guess I was gonna try that on this. I have no idea what's gonna happen to it. But this is that scrapbooking paper, and I want to change it as much as possible. The most fun is when you start peeling it up. That didn't really work very well, actually. I mean, it kind of worked, but I think the paint was too thin. So I wouldn't say that wasn't amazing. So that paint was a bit of a bust. Let me put some thicker. I'm gonna put that paint aside so I don't, make sure I don't use it again. The paint has to have some more consistency. And actually I'm gonna pull this up. That looks kind of cool. I'm making a royal mess on the right hand side here, but that's okay. So let's see what happens. And I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush to just make some marks. I'm having fun today. I'm not worrying about it. I'm not getting over complicated or anything. Let's see what piece I can use. Here's another piece that kind of similar. Let's see. What else? What else do I have in here? There's so many pieces in here. Pink. No. Oh my goodness. Well, I have a piece that's like, it's literally rice paper. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I think this is the fun thing when you really have no idea what's gonna happen. It's good to use different paper that has different. Oh, that's cool. Really cool. Wow. Actually, see, it's fun because you don't know exactly how your print is going to turn out until you do it. That's what I have to do this in my studio where I can actually lie them on the floor, because I end up with so many pieces of paper that it would be, I can't even imagine the disaster I would have. You can hear me crinkling paper. I'm gonna pick up this ghost print, and I can tell it's gonna be a nice one. Here we go. Yeah, oh, actually I missed a little. Sometimes if you start pulling it up and you can see that you didn't pull up the whole thing, but you haven't pulled it up all the way, you can peek and then push it back down and just go over it with your hand a little bit. Yeah, so that's a nice, interesting one. I'm laying them all. I have an unfinished floor. I liked what happened with this and the pink, so I think I did. Once again, I'm gonna actually I need a new piece of paper here because I really gooped this piece of paper up bad. So let's take a piece of paper. So I'm gonna take all my extra paint off, unless I want blue in there. I want that extra paint off, and I'm gonna do a little tiny bit of, this is called pastel red, and it really doesn't look red. So, I mean, I can keep going forever. This is already a 19-minute video. I just looked. So I probably should cut off at some point soon. I think I might, oh, I think what I did differently, I might have done a bit of a, I don't want to put too much paint. Really, it's not great to do that, but I'm obsessed with this fluorescent. Sometimes I like doing a band at the bottom in a different color. Always put your brayer beside you. 'Cause otherwise you end up setting it somewhere weird. And then you end up, so I'm looking at my tools beside me. What do I have? Oh, I have these funny little, these are actually meant for, I believe that they're meant for clay or something. Okay, so I'm gonna try that and see what happens. Oh, what was I doing? So I won't be able to get the whole thing, so I'll just pick the best corner here. Oh no, I was doing this one with the gold on it. So I'll pick the best corner. Try not to move it around like I just did. I hope I didn't move it too much. And that looks pretty cool. You can always scratch into it after you pull it off if you didn't like something, just so you know. You could go like that. Like you could scratch into it. This is actually a tool for card making. You'll find it in the card making section. It's an embosser. I couldn't remember the name last time I did a video. It is an embosser. So you could scratch into these and reveal some of the gold. But you've changed this paper enough that it doesn't look like the original piece of paper, and that was the point. Okay. That is the point. I want to do one more sheet here because now I'm addicted to this. I'm going to cut it down. Seeing what this rice paper looks like. I want to see what this rice paper looks like, and then I will call it quits for now because I'm probably going to keep going for a while here. It is just so much fun to do this. Okay. Just make sure I've got that pressed right out to the corners. Yeah, that is super cool piece. Love it. It's so organic looking. So I'm going to wrap up for now, and let me know what you think of this video. Definitely hit a like, send me a comment, hit a subscribe, and stay in touch.